Hello everybody, Zaxtorian, another first play on launch day. This is the 99-cent title called In My Mind. It's developed by PSB. This is a brand new developer and their first title on Steam. Now when we look at the publisher, Psycho Flux Entertainment, we see that they have a couple of pages of, pretty simple, a lot of puzzle kind of games, stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 99-cent game called In My Mind, kind of a retro shooter dealing with 18 different emotions that you have to conquer. And we'll let you know if it's worth your dollar right after this. Alright, hello everybody, welcome back. So let's go ahead and launch this game that I just purchased for review here, In My Mind, and we see that it launches up with a really small screen. I think this is like, I don't even know what the resolution is, but it's one resolution. There is no Unity launcher or anything like that, so no way to change the options, and all we have is a Z button to launch the game. Now I had already beat the first level here, and when you beat a level it turns white, and then you have to beat that first level to get the first row of different emotions. And this is some of that first level here called Irritation. So to play the game you have to use the Z button to shoot and the arrow keys to maneuver. Now you can move up and down, but I found in most of these levels it's kind of an advantage to move as far back away from the enemy as you can. You got to be careful though, because if you move so far back that you touch the bottom border, you will die. Also, you don't have any kind of life or anything like that. If you get hit once, your game's over and you need to start the level over again. Now there we beat that first level again, and then we move on to another emotion called Pressure. So every enemy kind of has its own pattern of shots, and they progressively seem to get a little bit harder, though some of the enemies I found easier, like in the middle, than some of the beginning ones, for example. The last row of emotions is pretty tough, but I pretty much beat every level in this game in about 40 minutes, 42 minutes, something like that. So, and I wasn't doing superb. I've just played a lot of these retro kind of games, and I really didn't have too big of a problem. I mean, some of these levels I died a few times and had to start over. But every level can be beat in 30 seconds as long as you don't die. And, even if you have to repeat the level 4 or 5 times, the most you're going to spend on any level is maybe 5 or 10 minutes. For me, anyway. I just can't see most people getting more than an hour's worth of gameplay out of this. And once you beat it, I can't really see a lot of replayability. I mean, the idea is pretty cool, and if you like retro shooters, this is alright. The problem is, while there is a variety to it, you don't have any options, you don't have any control options, you can't play the game with a controller, there is no score, there is no high score, there's no power-ups, there's no way to get different kinds of shots. And another problem I seem to have, I don't know if it was because I was recording with OBS or whatever, but a lot of these levels, it seemed like even though I was showing 60 frames per second, I did notice some lag that kind of caused me to die, maybe a little bit more often than I felt I should have. And it was like game lag, like I don't know, it was definitely noticeable in a game like this with this many bullets on the screen at once. Any kind of lag you're definitely going to notice, especially if it gets you killed. So I don't know what that was coming from, but I mean, I had fun with the game. Like I said, I played it for about 40 minutes and beat all 18 levels. As you see here, this is the first 3 waves. I think that's the first 14 levels. And this one here was probably one of the more difficult challenges I had, was Shame. And as you can see, it takes a little bit getting used to, but just keep your cool, keep playing it over and over again. I found a move back, and then eventually every enemy will seem to have a kind of a pattern. Here you see it as kind of moving left and right, and then to the middle. And you'll get a pattern for each enemy, as long as you play the level a few times. So you just continue to progress through these levels, until you beat each enemy. You know, as long as you don't get frustrated and quit or rage quit the game or whatever. And I mean, $1 for this, for 18 different levels, I just feel like most people probably aren't even going to play this game 5 or 10 minutes and they'll be done. So for most people, this probably is not a good value, even though I kind of like what the developer has done. I do want to challenge the developer and ask the developer to, you know, make the game so you can at least like put it in different resolutions or fill up your screen, or a full screen option. Maybe make some different keys available, you know, all the people out there that like the WASD keys, stuff like that. I don't think that would be that hard to implement into the game. And maybe make a few achievements, you know, for the game, or high scores, or give you a score or something. It just feels like it's missing a little bit, and I think the biggest thing, you know, I feel like the biggest thing that's missing is you're stuck with this really small resolution screen and no way to change it, no, you know, no audio options, no resolution options, nothing. And you know what, a 99-cent title, I don't really expect a lot of resolution options or graphics options or anything like that, but I do at least expect the ability to make a game full screen or leave a window, at least that option. But that's not even here. Guys, I kind of like the game. I think it's a pretty good first title. I like all the different variety of emotions. That's a pretty cool, you know, theme for a shooter, and how each one gets a little bit harder and has its own kind of pattern of bullets, like this sadness here, teardrops, or whatever they are. It took me a few times to beat, but, you know, I found the challenge pretty good while not too extremely difficult on any of the levels. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give this game value. I don't really think the value is that high. Like I said, I think most people are going to get 10 to 15 minutes out of the game. And if you're a hardcore, you know, you just really want to beat a game like me, you know, you might sit there for up to an hour to beat it. But value, I'm going to go ahead and give this game a 30 out of 40. Fun, out of 30 points, I'm going to go ahead and give this game, yeah, for me, I'm going to, you know, this is going to be a really subjective score. It's really going to depend on who you ask. But I thought it was pretty fun. I'm going to give it an 18 out of 30. Next criteria is controls and bugs. I'm going to dock some points here because there is no way to at least give you a full screen here. No way to adjust the volume or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and dock 8 points for that and give the developer a 12 out of 20 for controls and bugs. Just because I feel like you should have some control over at least making a full screen. And I'm going to hit him pretty hard on that one. And the next criteria is, you know, graphics and sound. I like the background music, and I think the graphics are pretty nice. For a game like this, obviously comparing this to similar games, I think it does a pretty good job. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10. So, if I add that all up, guys, I said 30 out of 40 for value. I said 18 for fun. I said 12 out of 20 for controls and bugs. And then I said for graphics and sound, I'm going to give it a 6, like I said. It's a 66% is my score for the game, and that's kind of comparing it to similar games like this. You know, it's really going to, you know, be a game that if you're a hardcore game, you like these really kind of games, it might be worth a buck to you. Be sure you let me know what you think down in the comments down below, though, and let me know what you think about In Your Mind. If this video has sparked you to go buy the game, definitely let me know as well down in the comments. Be sure you like my video, guys. Be sure you rate this video. This has been Zaxtor99 with another First Play on launch day. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.